I feel like a fulfilled life would look more like community, so I think I would really value that and just trying to enjoy my life rather than have a good
Maintaining
job.
healthy relationships with my family and friends.
Having like the career you want and good family.
Being happy and healthy.
Go visit Egypt.
Happiness and success.
Man, a fulfilled life probably be like, when I can make money by not doing nothing, by just sitting down. I'm up 10 bands just sitting down. That's
My idea of a fulfilled life is a life that is conformed to the image of Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Lewis, and you're listening to the Life is Beautiful podcast, where we cover many topics on the aspects of life in order to benefit your own. The voices you just heard were from the college students around the campus at Lorain County Community College. They were the responses of a simple, yet complex question. Allow me to ask you the same. What is your idea of a fulfilled life? Join me as we dig deeper into the subject together. The Cambridge Dictionary defines a fulfilled life as feeling happy because you are getting everything you want from life. But do we really know what we want? Noah Underhill has grown up in a world of performing. He lives his life to make other people's lives better while welcoming the rush of adrenaline right before a performance. I had the privilege of going into a deeper conversation with him as he shares his thoughts on what a truly fulfilled life looks like.
A fulfilling life would be one where I feel like I've not been a disappointment, live it with other people, and continue the legacy that my father and my grandfather have left for me.
Life must end, but the legacy we leave will live on. The way you live will be an example others will either honor and strive to follow, or will teach them of how not to live. There are so many things we live for, but what are the things we should be remembered for? I was curious to hear Noah's answer to this question, and this was his response.
I want to be remembered as somebody who is loyal. I have a bracelet that I wear that reminds me you have a life that has been lived before you that shows you what the right way to go is. You need to follow that if you want to be remembered well.
Psychological and physical symptoms triggered by stress plague 90% of Generation Z. 70% agree that anxiety and depression are major problems among their peers. It's pretty clear that my generation isn't finding the happiness they believe will fulfill them. I couldn't help but wonder what the generations before me would have to say to this. So I went over to Nancy Payton, an older woman who through her wisdom helped change my mom's life forever and has been a mentor to our family ever since. But don't go away as we share a quick message before returning to our topic. Did you know that about 6.5 million animals end up in an animal shelter each year? Did you know that in 2021, 355,000 dogs and cats were euthanized mainly due to the overpopulation in those shelters? That's an increase of 8,000 deaths from the previous year. However, the dogs and cats that are spared commonly develop depression, anxiety, and aggression among other disordered behaviors. The unhealthy staffing levels are due to the fact that employees must often work long shifts with very little pay in return. But it doesn't have to be this way. With your support, you can make a difference in the lives of so many suffering pets waiting to be adopted to a loving family. Donating to your local animal shelter empowers shelters to improve the quality of life for these sheltered pets. They need your help to make changes for the better. Consider donating, volunteering, or even adopting at your local animal shelter today. Call 800-628-0028 to make a donation towards the ASPCA today. Welcome back to the Life is Beautiful podcast as we continue to discuss the fulfillment of life. I myself can say that I too have struggled along with my generation. I've been lost trying to find my fulfillment of life in human relationships, outward appearance, and abilities. And when these things got taken away, I was left devastated and felt empty inside. So then what could I find that would bring me lasting fulfillment and would give me the assurance to say I've not wasted it at the end? Nancy Payton would tell me the true fulfillment of life is this.
Ultimate goal? Pleasing God with your life.
Could it really be that simple? Here's a woman who had served in the Philippines with her husband for over 20 years, had responsibly brought up her 3 amazing kids, and is now a great-grandmother. When I asked her what her happiest moment of life was, she said,
coming to know Jesus as my Savior and the difference that has made in my life. To have a Savior who is real and present, especially at this point in my life, has meant the world to me. As the song says, Jesus is all the world to me.
Every pursuit of happiness is temporal on this earth. It'll either get taken away during your lifetime or it will vanish when you die. But Nancy Payton took an eternal perspective. She went far beyond what the majority commonly thinks or is even accepted these days. Does she know something we don't? Allow me to ask you again, what is your idea of a fulfilled life? Because one of these days, you're going to be at the end of your life, and you're either going to say, I've wasted it, or I have lived a life that I have not regretted, and I have a peace about how I lived and the example I set for the generations to come. Thank you so much for listening to the Life is Beautiful podcast. We'll see you next time.
The end result of living for yourself is temporary. When you have the goal of living for God, you can see life and what happens to you in a different perspective. To have that kind of a purpose, that kind of a goal, that kind of a peace is so much better than anything else that's out there.